Hello, Richard Ng. How's it going, bro?
Very good. Check out the intro, man.
Thank you for being on the show. I know what you're about to share can inspire and encourage many people, not just men, even women also. I think they'll be very interested in what you have to say. So once again, thank you for being on my show, yeah?
You're most welcome. It's been quite a journey, but hopefully, I can try to help inspire people to get into a good lifestyle and with exercise and diet.
Yeah. Now, Richard, I want to turn back time a little bit. I don't know whether you remember. Actually, to be honest, when I had the idea to start this podcast, I had always wanted you to be part of it because of a conversation we had in a park a few years ago in USJ 16.
Yeah. I mean, I used to bump into you because I was walking like a madman there round and round and round where you live because my daughter goes for tuition around there.
When I bumped into you, I said, "Hey, Richard, what are you doing here?" And then we got to talk about how a doctor diagnosed you with diabetes and gave you the option to change your lifestyle or forever be on medication.
Yes,
and I think
yes.
we both know the doctor lah.
Yes, we do. Very well indeed. Our neighborhood doctor. Okay, to be honest, even from the days where I used to be on radio, I mean, we bump into each other in the corridor and, things like that, the studio and all that. I'm sure you've seen me, at my most prosperous self.
Your prime.
Yes, my prime. I never really went for checkups. I had cholesterol back then, even from the days in Astro, but I never bothered about it. Cholesterol. I mean, it's a very common thing. Everybody has it. As time went on, it went higher and higher. The reading just kept going up. And it came to a point, my cholesterol level was 9. And that still didn't bother me very much. Yes, I was growing sideways and all that, but I was happy with the way I looked. Like people say, as long as you're happy inside, you're happy with yourself, fine. Life is good. Even with the cholesterol and all that, I didn't care much. I continued eating and all. And what woke me up was one day, you remember on Lite FM, where I used to be with Sarah, we had Dr. Rajvan coming in every Wednesday. And we were off air talking about health issues and all that. And I told him my cholesterol level is 9. And that gave him a shock. So he said, "Richard, you got to be very careful. You better do something about your cholesterol level because 9 is very, very high, extremely high. And you might just drop one day and get a stroke." That didn't even bother me at all. I continued having the good food at the cafeteria and all that until I left Lite FM. What really changed my life was when I went to our neighborhood doctor. Every year I'll do a full blood test. And then he told me, I went for a cholesterol checkup. And he said, "You not only have cholesterol now, you have diabetes and it's very high." So I never knew anything about diabetes, but I was getting the symptoms already. And he says, "Your diabetes level is 15. I just looked at him. What is 15? 15 seems like a small number to me, I mean, if you're talking about 0 to 100, 15 is nothing. He says 15 is very, very high. Your sugar level is extremely high. I was getting the symptoms, like I said. Things like I was going to the toilet to pee 2 or 3 times within an hour.
Wow.
And when I go to bed at night, I'd wake up in the middle of the night, throughout the night, going to the toilet to pee. And that is one of the symptoms, when you have diabetes. Type 2, that's lifestyle. So he told me to come back another day to do another test, which would make it more accurate. And the next test was, to do with drinking a glass of glucose. I forgot what is the name for it. And after that, he says, even after the second test, the diabetic level was 10, and it's still very high. And straight away, he put me on medication, metformin. This is the medication for all diabetic. That point, it actually changed my life because I not only have cholesterol, I am diabetic, type 2, which is lifestyle. And also, when you go to a doctor, the first thing they do is test your blood pressure. Yeah. So he started pumping my arm and test my blood pressure. My blood pressure was 155, which is high. So I've got the whole package, 3 things in one.
three in one.
That was when I got worried. I decided to do something was because of family. Let's face it, we're all human. We're going to go one day. A lot of us, if not all of us, are not afraid to die. But when you have a family, think of all the people with you, my kid, my wife, and things like that. So I thought to myself, this is not the time to leave because my kid is still young. That was in 2016. So I told myself, you really have to do something. You have to do a lifestyle change. I've been telling myself, lifestyle change. Even on radio with Dr. Rajpans and Sarah, we'll advise people, hey, lifestyle change. That lifestyle change only lasts from December during the festive holidays until January. That's it. After that, it goes into the drains again. But this time around, because of all this, I decided to tell myself, it really has to be a lifestyle change. Whatever is right now happening to you has got to go behind you and you forget about yourself in the past. Okay? The old Richard has to die and you have to have a new Richard. So what I did was, the first thing I did was, because I was diabetic and I had cholesterol and all that, the most sensible thing to do was to stop eating white rice. I actually stopped white rice because it's high in sugar, and I stopped sugar completely. I mean, our boss in Astro, Jake, do you remember? He used to see me in the corridor, he'll squeeze my tummy, and then he'll squeeze my neck, and he'll tell me, hey, you don't have a neck anymore. La. To me, it was a joke. I didn't care. But one day when I looked at myself in the mirror, it's true. I don't have a neck anymore because it just was filled with nothing but fat. Let me show you a picture of what I was on my handphone. I hope you can see it. This is what I was back then. This was taken in 2016. Look at the belly. Look at my face. And that year, when that photo was taken, I was drinking nothing but Coke and root beer because they were on promotion for ringgit each. So I bought them in crates. And that's how my diabetes came about, because it was so nice to drink. It eventually became water to me. So I don't drink water, but I drink that. Every time I'm thirsty, I drink that. So Jake used to tell me, you better do something about yourself. And from that day, that hit me. And the first thing I stopped was sugar, because he told me, if you want to lose weight, stop sugar and you will see the results really fast. So I cut out white rice, I cut out sugar. Those 2 of the most important things I cut out. I went and bought myself one of those test kits, from the pharmacy where you test your blood for diabetes. I went and bought one of those blood pressure thingy, and I tested myself. What I did was I started to take out my sneakers to start walking. I walked in the park when I sent my girl for tuition. That's somewhere where you live. That's why you see me in the park. I walk and walk and walk. For 1 solid hour, I'd just be walking fast, brisk walking. Really fast, like I was late for work. That's the only way to do it. And then after that, you see, you're all drenched in sweat. I tried to jog, but I can't because my belly was so big. At that time, I was weighing somewhere around 110 or 115 kilograms. So when I try to jog, the belly keep lunging forward and it puts a strain on my back. Okay. And with the age catching up and all that, your back muscle is not strong enough. So it hurts my back. So I just continued walking. I told myself, don't try to be a hero. Doesn't matter if you're walking. There's nothing wrong to it. Just walk. You're doing something. So I kept walking and walking and walking. And within 3 months, the weight started to drop from 115 or 110. It dropped, I remember, to 91. In fact, I stopped rice for 3 months. Then I started seeing results with the walking as well. Within about 2 months or slightly about a month after that, it was very fast. You can see results really fast. The sugar level started to drop. I tested, it was about 9, it was about 8, then it dropped to about 7 point something. And I went back to our neighborhood doctor and told him, listen, I'm going to try this. I'm going to stop medication for a week and see, and continue my exercise and diet or whatever. And if it continues to drop or stay at a lower level, if it doesn't go up, I will stop the medication. But if it goes up, I promise you, I will continue with the medication. All right? Because I hear people say, once you get diabetes and you go on medication, please try not to, go on medication and all that. But if you're at a high level, you have to be on medication. You have to be on medication. So I gave him my promise, and I continued to do my exercise and my diet, and it didn't go up anymore. It just stayed at 7. And as I went on and on, just repeated the same thing every other day. Exercise in the morning, I walk for an hour, and then in the evening when I'm sending my daughter for tuition again, I would walk for another hour. So in a day, I clock in about 2 hours of walking, brisk walking. And I burn about 600 calories just by walking in a day. So that helps. And then I'm careful with my diet. Within 3 months, my weight started to drop. So that's good news for me. I bumped into a friend at the local market, and he too lost weight. He was quite big, probably not as big as me, what I was, but that belly and all that as you age. So one day I saw him and he was really skinny. I asked him, how did you become so skinny? He says, cycling. I cycle every other day. And I looked at him and I went into his Facebook and I saw his photographs, with cyclists, you have your cycling jersey and all that. And I thought to myself, I don't think so. I think he's sick. When somebody loses so much weight. So it's just impossible to see someone in a cycling jersey. And then I bumped into him again another day and he told me, come to my place. He lives around here as well, by the way. And I went to his place and he showed me his bicycles and all that. He said, go ahead, try it out. I looked at his bike. Wow, it looks really expensive. But I did try get on it and all that. So eventually I believe that through cycling, he lost so much weight. So I told him, I want to cycle too. So he says, no problem. Get a bicycle. So I already have a bicycle. The real heavy ones, with a basket in front and all that, to go to the shop to tapao more food.
The pasta bicycle.
Yeah, that's the word, pasta bicycle. So I took a photograph and showed him. He saw it and he laughed. He said, brother, I think you need an upgrade. I didn't care as well. To me, I just wanted to exercise. I don't care how heavy the bike is. I took it and I cycled around, our area and all that, round and round and round, just like a mad fella. But I had one of those, headphones where it doesn't cover your ears. They call that aftershocks or something like that, where it's just outside your ears so I can hear traffic as well. Just listen to music and just cycle. I'd cycle for about 15, 20 kilometers just around our area until one day another friend saw my Strava and he says, bro, I look at your Strava, I'm getting a headache because it's just going all over the place in the same area. So he says, why don't you just get a proper bike and I'll take you down to the motorbike lane on the highway, but you got to be very careful. So I said, okay. And then that's where I started cycling further and further. When I first started, I thought to myself, lifestyle change. Let's see how long.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody talks about lifestyle change and then it's just a temporary thing. Even cycling seems like a very trendy sport. You might do it just for a few months and then give it up. Okay, how long have you been cycling, Richard?
4 years now. 2016 until now.
Even before it became the trendy sport, right?
Yes. You see, the funny thing about people is this. They will not keep to something unless something really hit them and wake them up. The same with me. No time lah. Come back from work so tired and all that. Even if we get into a so-called lifestyle change, it only lasts for 3 months. and then something crops up, and then once you start getting lazy again, that's it. But when you have something like high cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, that wakes you up. Now you really have to have a lifestyle change. That means I got to really put it behind me and start a new life. That old life cannot exist because it's going to go back there again. When I started, I actually looked up the sky when I was walking in the park, and I just prayed for God to give me the strength and the perseverance to go on for as long as it can. I want that lifestyle change. That was how desperate I was to have that lifestyle change. Because if I don't have a lifestyle change, it's just a matter of time. I mean, to put it very bluntly, I'm going to kick the bucket. And just like Dr. Rajban says, with a cholesterol level of 9 and with your diabetic level of 15, if you don't take care, sooner or later, it's just when. That's it. So I just took out my sneakers, watched what I eat, and I just kept walking. And the results started to come.
What is the motivation for you? I mean, is it the numbers? Is it do you reward yourself after that? What motivates you to, hey, I got
question. Motivation it means spending money. Yes, that is part of the motivation. Things that motivate me is upgrading my bicycle, maybe change a small part here and there, change the wheel set. I mean, we sell off the old one and then we top up a little bit more, we get a new one. So you feel like, oh, I want to test out my new wheels today and things like that. There are lots of ways to keep motivating yourself. Sometimes it gets to a point where I'm so tired of cycling and I start giving myself all kinds of excuses. And then I just go online, have a look at the online jerseys. This is nice. So you buy a jersey and it feels good. These are the motivating factors. What got me cycling was because I had a slight ambition as well. I told myself, I am going to try and fit into a cycling jersey. You know what they are? They're small, tiny little lycra and things like that. I say, I swear to you, it's impossible to fit into one of those jerseys without seeing your big bulge coming out or some fat coming out and all that. But if you look at cyclists, they really look good in that jersey. So I said, I'm going to try. I don't care. I continued to exercise, continued to watch what I ate and all that. And eventually you can fit into a jersey. And you know the joy when you can zip it up without all that big belly bulge and all that. So these are the motivating factors.
Now, Richard, I want to go back to the food for a while because something is puzzling me. You know, you show these numbers in your glucose level and all that. And then off and on, you show a bag of chips and some nasi lemak. How you balance that, Richard? We want to know how you balance that.
Okay, I mean, let's face it, I love food. I love eating. We're in Malaysia, okay? You know our food choices, I mean, we're not some Western country, morning wake up, Western food, afternoon Western food. Every other day you see the same thing. Every day also we can have different things.
Yeah.
You get me? We're in Malaysia. So when I started going on a so-called diet is avoiding unhealthy food. But bro, avoiding is a bad word. Let's put it that way, okay? I still love my nasi lemak, I love my roti canai, I love my mee goreng, I love my, char kway teow and all that. Like our neighborhood doctor said, oh, I love mutton curry. Richard, that now has to be a delicacy to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I first started, I mean, your mind will tell you what is right and wrong. Monday, I'm going to have a packet of nasi lemak. Long time now, kena already. Whoa, went there, back, come back, whack, nice nasi lemak. Okay, I'm not going to eat nasi lemak for the next 4 weeks, the whole month. Fine, good for you. But the problem is, tomorrow got roti canai. But last month I had roti canai. Only now is a new month, my roti canai day. Then the following day, char kway teow. After that, curry mee. No end. Right now.
You can easily find 30 different meals for 1 month.
Exactly, brother. So the only way I can think of doing it is be conscious of what you put in your mouth. And I do that. I mean, I cannot stop myself from having that bowl of curry noodle. But the oil that's on top of it and all that, I mean, the santan that goes with it, that is about 600 calories. So what I do is I will have the curry mee, but I make sure that gets burnt off the next day or the night where I go for another cycling outing again. So you have to know, you got to have input and output. I went to a pharmacy one day and had a chat with the pharmacist and all. He got very friendly and he told me this: your output has to be more than your input to see results in weight loss. To maintain my normal weight, let's say I can afford to have 1,600 calories. If you want to lose weight, you have to have a credit. Don't go and whack until 1,006. Then you're maintaining what you are now. So what I do is I minus off 500. 1,800, I can only afford to have 1,300. So that's another way of doing it. So just be very conscious your input and your output. And then when you're exercising, you get credit. So that goes into your output as well. So you balance it like that. And that's how I managed to lose all that weight.
Another thing I want to touch on is the support of people around you. Now, I see your meals, on Facebook, mostly prepared by your wife, and she makes sure it's nutritious. Tell us how this has really helped you in controlling your diabetes, the support from your wife to help you eat right.
Basically, it's got to start from you. Really, it's got to start from you. This is a very good point that you've brought up. Let's face it, we're Asians. Kevin, when you're at home, okay, you eat with your family. I'm sure at times your family will go, hey, Kevin, don't waste. Finish it lah. Finish it. You can finish it. Because they know you can, right?
Yeah, right.
Hey, finish it lah. Okay. And I know that I can eat. Whack lah. It comes to a point where I really put my foot down. But I explained to my wife, I said, I cannot be finishing it all the time. No, think about it. You don't want to eat. You want to look after yourself. You ask me to eat it. You are killing me. You want to lose your husband so fast. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to put my foot down. If I cannot eat, I cannot finish. Sorry to say lah. Because I don't like to waste food. But if I have to waste it for the sake of my health, I will.
Right.
So after a while, she will get the drift of it. And that's why you say she will prepare just the right amount of food. Like now, she'll ask me before she actually cooks, hey, do you want to eat rice tonight? Or do you want to eat a lot of rice? I'll just say all the time, one fistful. When our neighborhood doctor told me, Richard, just one fistful of rice. I looked at him, one fistful. Hello, brother. One fistful where you want to put? Which corner of my tummy? How to tahan? But eventually your body will get used to it. Seriously, your body will get used to it. Even at my weight now, I don't follow it, completely. Unconsciously, it's become a habit now. I would classify what I'm doing now as intermittent fasting. And it's good. It gives your body a chance to recover, to detoxify and everything. I have my dinner at night. I have my last meal, 10 o'clock. By the time I finish eating with the chips and all that sometimes, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and I stop, I will not eat until the next day, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So from all that time, I have about 14 hours of fasting. I do a 14-10 fasting. 14 hours of fasting, 10 hours of eating. I skip the morning meal, the breakfast and everything. Like today, I went cycling. Some people tell me, hey Richard, how can you tahan? You exercise, go cycling, you push yourself and all that, and you still don't eat. I think my body has gotten used to it.
Where do you get the energy?
For me, I suppose the dinner. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad habit. I'm trying to sort that out. Have a light dinner and then go to bed. So, but the thing is, I fast, and then after that, during lunch, sometimes you see me post up just salads. Like today, I buy tofu. I get my wife to put in some cucumber shreds and all that. I'm eating tahu sumbat.
Yeah.
I have 2 or 3 of that with some greens around. And that's enough for me. That makes me full. But think of it. Those are what we call good food choices. I have my greens, my salad. My tahu sumbat is actually high in protein. Tofu is very high in protein. So I have 2 or 3. I'm good for lunch until dinner time. If I have cycled, I need to replenish my carbohydrate for energy. At night, I will have a fistful of rice with my vegetable. For us Asians, we actually eat too much carbohydrates. Everything is carbohydrate. Your noodle is carbohydrate. Your Then on top of that, you eat potatoes, you eat things like that. Those are all carbs. But if you don't burn it out, it gets stored as fat. So all this, so I take into consideration at night. I just have a fistful, and then I have my vegetables, I have a soup, and all that. Okay, I'm good. And all this is done, I've learned from research. Mr. Google, seriously, Mr. Google and all that. Common sense. You don't have to have a degree, in dietitian or diets or things like that. You just go to Mr. Google, watch YouTube and all that. You will learn over time.
Now, Richard, before I let you go, I think you saw the poster, how I work my diabetes. For your parting words, as men, like you said, we always will brush it aside, maybe later, procrastinate and all that. But you have really made this your number one priority. First of all, is it possible to reverse your health condition right now? How would you tell them that?
Okay, seriously, I am not a doctor or anything like that. Whatever I've been telling you is based on my own journey, okay? From what I was at the start, what I told you, and until now. When you want to start a lifestyle change, you really have to tell yourself, I need a lifestyle change, and make sure you change it. And I don't blame people because I've been there before. I mean, when we were at Astro, remember? Oh, yeah, I better have a lifestyle change. And then the lifestyle change lasts 3 months. I would really encourage people who are much younger than me. Don't wait until you're 55 or 56 before you make the lifestyle change. That was my age. I'm 59 plus today, turning 60 soon. I made that lifestyle change 4 years ago. But Kevin, how many people can be like Richard Ng? Because my body is different from your body. So when I always tell my friends, they're in their 40s, please, if you want to do a lifestyle change, don't wait anymore. I'm lucky to still manage to do a lifestyle change at 55 or 56. You tell yourself, later lah, Richard, 56 only did lifestyle change. I got so many years ahead, but you never know. Your body cannot take it. Bam, that's it. Hello, thank you, bye-bye. Next. So don't wait. If you feel that you're obese, if you feel that you're down with all these kind of funny, diseases, start thinking about it seriously. Think about the people around you. Do you want to leave them behind, missing you and things like that? It's not worth it. Why not spend time with them? Be healthy. So that is the thing that I want to encourage the younger people who's younger than me. And when you do decide to do that lifestyle change, I know there are people who can be very strict on their diet. I cannot, but do it smartly. But make sure the bad lifestyle is a lot less. It's not perfect, but at least you're doing something with mee goreng and all the fried food. If you can, don't have it. It's the oil that is clogging up your arteries. The advice I want to give you if you're doing a lifestyle change, start with baby steps. Start easy workouts, but regularly. Start walking. Doesn't matter. Don't have to be cycling. Every day walk 5 kilometers, 3 kilometers to start with maybe, or even 2. I started with 2. Walk fast. You will start sweating. And then over time, as you get stronger and healthier, then you add on. And then you got to know your limitation as well. Coming back to what it was. You got to know your limitation because you don't know how much you've abused your body. So when your body is panting and gasping for air and your legs are tired, whether it be walking, running, jogging or whatever, or cycling, if you have to stop lah. Don't try to be a hero. So always listen to your body. And when you start, please go and get yourself a heart rate monitor because you don't know how your heart rate is. Get a full medical checkup before you start it, if you can. So at least you have a guide. Be disciplined by having role models. When you have a role model, I want to be like him. I want to be like him. Then your discipline automatically comes in. How to be like him? Do it every day. A lot of people say, hey, you want to lose weight, 80% is diet, 20% is exercise. Correct. Seriously, you can lose weight by just dieting because 80% is what you put in your mouth. But for me, I personally feel you need to exercise because you need to pump in 20% of workout so that your body, your organs starts to work again. You work out so that you slowly improve your metabolic rate to burn food faster. You become fitter and stronger. It's a balance of two, not just one, to me. I personally feel that. You exercise too much, you don't feed yourself enough also, cannot. Then you don't have the energy. If you don't eat enough, you burn muscle.
You seem to have the right balance in doing it.
I think it's a lot to do with your own common sense. Just ask yourself questions and reason out. You'll be fine, you know. And please do not over push yourself. You have to listen to your body.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you for
You're
being
welcome.
on my show. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Richard Ng.
Thank you for inviting me. And seriously, what I'm trying to do is trying to inspire other people to live a healthier lifestyle. I mean, I am not an angel, or some people who can really stick to diets and exercise and build themselves. Mine is basically, I just want you to live a healthy life. That's it. Live longer so that you can spend more time with your loved ones.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for your time. I'd like to wish you and your family Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And of course, we'll catch up soon, staying nearby.
Yes. No harm catching up for roti canai, yeah? Just make sure we walk it off after that.
Yeah.
All right. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.